like Dale said, I am Katina Cunningham with Dreams for Change. My actual role is um, to do outreach and education in regards to the federal and state income tax credit program for free tax preparation and earned income. Um, EITC, which stands for Earned Income Tax Credits. So you should be able to see my screen. I am sharing at this point the 2021 federal and state income tax. You'll see the website, which you'll hear us refer to many times throughout the presentation. It's at www.myfreetaxes.org. That is where you can find more information about what we're actually doing with the Earned Income Tax Credit Program, the free tax preparation, and to educate you on what it takes to be a part, what the eligibilities are, getting you at least basically ready. And if we can move a little further into the EITC outreach and education program. Okay. First of all, I want to try to give you a small summary of what the actual program is. And this tax program is a tax assistant program that offers free tax help to those who qualify. It is aimed to help low to moderate families get pretty much a tax credit of some sort, because there are many. And you'll hear us talk a lot about tax credits and non-refundable and refundable credits. All of that information is going to be covered today. Um, I'm trying to set my screen up where I can see everything. Okay. My first slide says, what are tax credits and what do tax credits have to do with me? When I am out doing outreach, there are a lot of people is like, it doesn't relate to me. It's not something that I need. In many past years, there were times where these tax credits before 2015 did not exist. And if you made very little income, your tax advisor probably advised you to do a waiver with the IRS, to say that waiver pretty much says, you know what, I really didn't make enough to file or get any type of tax credits. So the federal government came up with ways, and one of those ways is tax credit, to give an incentive which allows certain taxpayers to subtract the amount of credit that they accrued from the total that they may owe to the IRS and the state. Some advantages of having tax credits are you're able to offset liabilities. You'll have more money in your pocket to pay for childcare expenses. You'll have money to pay bills and feed your family. And one of the missions of this actual program was to enhance the lives of people. Some of the other bullet points I want to cover is that taxpayers are permitted to subtract dollar for dollar the income taxes that they owe by getting tax credits. The tax credits are more favorable than tax deductions because they reduce the taxes that are due and not just the amount of the taxable income. As we go along today, and while I'm presenting, you'll hear a lot about refundable versus non-refundable credit. For a very long time, I was like, what is that? We know what refunds are. We know what it is to not get a refund. But I wanted to share and educate for those who do not know, refundable credits generally reduce an individual's tax liability. Your tax liability is what you're going to owe out, regardless if that's federal or state. Your refundable credits defray the cost to the taxpayer, and it can be the same as a tax payment towards the liability or any portion that you may owe that is left over. Any portion that you may owe, federal or state, and it definitely can help the taxpayer to decrease the liability. The liability is what you owe out in case you did not pay enough taxes in federal or state, and then it gives you a refund of any difference that might have been left over. Some of the examples of that is your EITC tax credit, your premium tax credits, your American Opportunity Tax Credit, and your child tax credits, which you're going to hear more about as we go. Your non-refundable credits, all it does is reduces your individual tax liability to zero. So if you owe $500 and you're eligible and get a tax credit that is $500, what it'll essentially do is bring that $500 that you owe to the government, down, the federal government, down to zero. And if, say, for instance, you get a tax credit and you are eligible for $800, I just want to give a couple of examples. And say your tax liability with the when you file your federal taxes is $500. What that $800 tax credit does is it's going to look at that $500. It's going to see that you are eligible for $800 in tax credits. It's going to take that $500 off. So you're not coming out of pocket with that. And it's going to refund you the difference of $300. What is EITC, which I've already kind of mentioned, and I'll just reinforce, is Earned Income Tax Credit, or it's also sometimes referred to as EIC, Earned Income Credit. So you guys have probably heard that. Here it's just talking about the same things. I just want to reiterate the federal government Earned Income Tax Credit, or EIC, is a refundable credit for low to moderate income working individuals and couple, particularly those with children. The amount of the EIC benefit depends on the recipient's income, the number of children, and for a person or couple with one or more people and as their qualifying child, requirements such as relationships, age, shared residency must be met. And I have to mention, I don't want to leave out that married filing separately is excluded. You have to be filing jointly. And your childless workers who have incomes below a certain level can receive a very small Earned Income Tax Credit benefit. I want to take 1 second to step back and talk to those who may not have qualifying children. I like to encourage in my outreach to make sure that everybody knows that even if you do not have qualifying children, you should still go ahead and file your taxes, because with the federal EITC, you can get up to approximately $528.29 back if you're eligible. And then it could be even more than that with qualifying children. So that's a pretty significant amount to go ahead and file. So I just encourage you not to assume that just because you do not have qualifying children that you should not file these taxes, because as we go along and I start to show you some of the numbers, you're going to see that it is very beneficial for those, even if you do not have qualifying children, to file your income taxes for tax credit purposes. All right, it's going to be the fun one. I want to talk about, let's talk about the money. Everybody wants to talk about the money. I like to call this EITC 101. Nationwide during 2020, 25 million eligible workers and families received about 62 billion in EITC. The average amount of EITC received nationwide was about $2,461. I think that's pretty good. Can I get a volunteer to read the next bullet point for me? Is there anybody that wants to read that for me? Any takers?
Don't be shy.
I'll read it for you.
Sure, I'll read it for you.
That would be wonderful.
Thank you, John C. Go ahead.
Okay, let's talk about money. Nationwide during 2020, 25 million eligible workers and families received about 62 billion in EITC. The average amount of EITC received nationwide was about $2,461. EITC is for workers whose income does not exceed the following limits in 2020. $50,954, $56,844 married filing jointly with 3 or more qualifying children, $47,740, $53,333, 30, married filing jointly with 2 qualifying children, 41,756, 47,646 married filing jointly, 1 with 1 qualifying child, 15,820, 21,710 married filing jointly with no children. Investment income must be 3,650 or less. Take the credit your due. The EITC credit ranges from $11 to $6,660 with 3 or more qualifying children, $10 to $5,920 with 2 qualifying children, $9 to, oh,
I'm sorry, that's my fault.
I don't know.
There we go.
Oh, okay, thank you. Sorry, ma'am.
I apologize, that was my fault.
Okay, $9 to $3,584 with 1 qualifying child, $2 to $538 with no qualifying children.
Thank you so much, John C. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you for reading that for me. So essentially what here, with 3 qualifying children, is quite significant with $50,954. Married filing jointly is going to be $55,844. It says take the credit you're due. You can receive anywhere from $11 up to $6,660, depending on the number of qualifying children. Of course, more children, you're going to get more earned income tax credit. 2 qualifying children, it can be from $10 to almost $6,000. That's pretty significant. And also I want to touch, you can kind of follow that, but let's go to the no qualifying children. That looks pretty good. I know before I had children, my income tax, sometimes I get $238. At the time, there was no income tax credit that would have been significant for me. But to add $538 to $250 approximately that's almost $1,000. So I encourage those who have no qualifying children to definitely take part of the benefits that you may have here. Okay. This chart is going to show your refundable and non-refundable shares of EITC and the child tax credit. When we refer to EITC, a lot of times we're referring to the general overall program initiative. When we refer to the child tax credit program, that is pretty much overall, but California has a young child tax as well that you'll hear more about going forward. The Earned Income Tax Credit program is one of the largest national anti-poverty campaigns. It is a refundable tax credit. It helps to reduce your tax liability and increase your tax refund. You must have earned income to qualify. You are not disqualified because you do not have qualifying children. That is even more reason for you to make sure that you are a filer. You must have a valid Social Security number or identification or ITIN. You are not eligible if you are married filing separately. So you have to be married filing jointly, which is one of the options. And our typical average age range is between 25 and 64. And we'll get a little deeper into that as we go along in the presentation. This actual graph that I'm showing that is up on your screen is just a 2017 fiscal year stat regarding refundable and non-refundable shares of EITC and the child tax credit. If you'll notice the part up top, the first part, the Earned Income Tax Credit non-refundable, it actually took my my actual key off that I was able to see, but about the halfway mark of the first refundable measure shows about 63.1%. What they are is one of the The first one is a representation of the earned income tax credit in general and the portion in 2017 out of the billions of dollars that was refunded for the EITC and child tax credit. 63.1% was the amount that was, when they pulled the data showing there was 63.1% that was refundable, and there was only 2.8% that was non-refundable, and that was for the general population. For the child tax credit portion of the EITC, refundable for when they looked at the child tax credit, there was 24.3% that was non-refundable for the child tax credit, and a 27.1 refundable ACTC, which is the when we start looking at the child tax credit, that is a general tax credit, but there's also tax credit that you can get under Cal EITC as well. Okay. I was going to mention as well, if you guys want to jot your questions down, like Dale said, it is good to kind of hold your questions to the end of the presentation, because a lot of those questions are going to be answered. And I know that we probably will have some that may be a little different, but make sure you're jotting those down, and we'll be more than happy to answer those questions or get a resource for you. Okay. The graph that you are looking at on the screen right now, it says millions of people lifted out of poverty or made less poor. And we got these particular statistics from the supplemental poverty measure by EITC and the CTC, which is your child tax credit of 2015. If you look at the key, it shows lifted out of poverty is going to be your light blue, made less poor is going to be your dark blue. And in 2015, there was a 22% of the general population was lifted out of poverty due to EITC and child tax credit. 9.8 was lifted out of poverty. 22% was made less poor. And when we started to look at the children, when it came to the 2015 stats, 8% of the children were made less, 8% with children were made less poor, and 5.1% was lifted out of poverty. I want to take a moment and just stop and talk about the difference between your EITC versus your Cal EICT. The EICT is a federal earned income tax credit with special tax rate that work for people who work part-time or full-time, which is going to mean the incentives are having extra cash in your pocket. You can file or claim your EITC refunds, even if you don't have, refunds, even if you don't owe any income tax, but you just want to definitely see, and this is often referred to as your federal EITC or just EITC. That is your federal level, your federal tax. Yes. I'm sorry.
So Uber? Yeah.
I'm sorry, did someone have a question? Okay. Moving over, talking about your California EICT, the California Earned Income Tax Credit is as well a special tax break for people who work full-time or part-time who may be eligible for a refundable cashback credit if qualified as a low to moderate income work in California. Now, this is going to be your state EITC, and those are the differences between those two.
It's okay.
Can you please mute yourself? I'm trying to find you on the screen and I can't. Okay, sorry for that, Katina.
No problem. Okay. Cal EITC, which is your state EITC tax credit and immigrants. California state legislature passed a bill called AB 1876 that allows all income eligible immigrants to access the California Earned Income Tax Credit. It also allows people filing taxes with the I-10, which is your individual taxpayer identification number, to receive the state tax credit if you meet the eligible income criteria. Examples of who would have a I-10 number, maybe someone who does not and doesn't qualify for a social security number. It could be a spouse, it could be a child. I have provided some links at the end that you can go in and find out more information about the I-10 and who is eligible to file with that particular number, as well as your social security. Okay, on your screen, you're going to see Cal EICT maximum adjusted gross income. Here again, sorry, let me step back one. Here again, you have number of qualifying children, all the way from having no qualifying children up to 3 qualifying children. When you have a maximum gross adjusted gross income of $30,000, with no qualifying children, you can receive for the state of California up to $243. That is for your state. With 1 qualifying child, it can be $1,626, 2, $2,691, and 3, $3,027. That's pretty significant. Okay. With your new young child tax credit, which is a California earned income tax credit, it is available for families making less than $30,000, which you just saw on the graph. I keep bumping this, sorry. Families that qualify for Cal EITC has at least 1 child. And just notice the difference between these. This is your new young child tax credit, and that child has to be under the age of 6. You can earn up to $1,000. And like Cal EITC, your young child tax credit phases out as your income gets higher. So there is pretty much a graph that shows what it is that you can qualify, and as your income gets higher, your tax credit gets lower. An estimated 400,000 families may be eligible to claim the young child tax credit. So if that happens to be you, make sure you are filing to get those extra monies. Right? You have your child tax credit. It is a refundable and a non-refundable. So if you remember what those actual mean, those tax credits, the refundable credits and the non-refundable means, it means that if your child is under the age of 17 by the end of the year, so if your child was 17 by the end of 2020, you may qualify for up to $2,000 per child, with only $1,400 of that being refundable. And this phases out at about $200,000. So if your income goes up to the threshold of $200,000, by the time it caps at $200,000, it's probably on the lower end of what you'll be eligible for, but please still do file, because you never know what's going to offset what, or how many tax credits you'll be eligible for. So make sure you are filing if you have children that are eligible and that was 17 by the end of December 2020. You may be eligible for the child tax credit. I'm checking my time. 126. Okay, this slide that you have before you talks about qualifying children claim. If you are filing single, head of household, or widow with 0 qualifying children, and your income limit is under $15,820, and you have 0 qualifying children, your income, I apologize, has to be under $15,820, and thus and so on for 1 qualifying child, 2 or 3. And as you go higher, of course, the earned income tax credit would definitely be more. All right. So this leads me to talking about the free tax preparation. As you guys are having this particular orientation and you have an affiliation with the San Diego Housing Commission, it has been scheduled for you to have a tax preparation on Thursday, considering the software is available by that time. But there are 3 different ways when we actually do outreach. Otherwise, you guys have an advantage by being affiliated with the San Diego Housing Commission. But there are other ways that we are doing outreach where we're sending our patrons and our clients which you can do with your families or other people, your friends. Please let them know that they can go through San Diego 211. You can dial 211, or you could go to the 211 website, or go directly to www.myfreetaxes.org. And if you have made less than $57,000 for the tax year, you may be eligible to get volunteer prepared taxes done for free, or facilitated self-prepared tax, or you could do it yourself if you feel comfortable, or if you are pretty good with a computer and your income is less than 68,000, you will qualify to do the self-prepared tax and can go directly to this link, which will be provided for you at the end of the presentation. Just touching on the volunteer prepared, you have certified tax preparer that is going to complete the taxpayer's return at a tax site. And because of COVID, some sites will operate virtually, where information can be dropped off or sent electronically, and your return is completed and electronically sent back to you. Okay. Your facilitated self-preparation is going to be where a taxpayer completes their own tax return with the assistance of a certified tax preparer. And then, of course, again, just reiterating, if you like to self-prepare, you always can go to www.myfreetaxes.org. As long as your income is under $68,000, it will be done for free. I do want to mention, and I know you guys probably know or have heard, if you kind of follow what's going on with tax season, the IRS is not going to be actually accepting taxes until February 12th. That does not mean they can't be prepared at this time. So we are taking, 211 is taking appointments at this time. It's filling up really fast. So I just wanted to kind of put that out there. If you dial 211 and you are eligible, to have your taxes done and prepared for free, go ahead and call 211 if you want to give that information to your families. If not, I know a lot of you guys are going to be in that class on Thursday or whenever that class convenes to do your taxes here. But if you have family members or other friends or community people that you're affiliated with, that is going to go through 211, make sure they go to 211, give them a call, set and schedule their tax preparation and see if they qualify, and make sure that they keep those appointments. But we'll touch that going forward as well. Okay, your volunteer income tax assistant, which is VITA. VITA is the volunteer income tax assistance program where you have national program and aimed at assisting free tax preparation by IRS certified volunteers. When our clients are going to San Diego 211, they are being scheduled for appointment with certified IRS volunteers, which again is designed to help low to moderate income taxpayers. They assist taxpayers with limited English proficiency, and provides help to the elderly and those with disabilities. All right, how to prepare for tax prep. I have provided an actual printable document to Dale and Sylvia with the San Diego Housing Commission that talks about what to bring on Thursday or whatever day that you have tax preparation. And these documents are not just to be used for the tax prep. Is if you have family members that you can share, please feel free to tell them or to just provide a reminder of what they need to bring to be and have the documents to have ready for the appointment. These documents are also listed on the sites. There is going to be a set of useful links that I provide on the next couple of slides, I want to say, that will give you links directly to answer a lot of the questions that you may have. But let's see where we are. Just to kind of touch a couple of these, it says, please remember to bring or have ready the following documents. Of course, your normal state issued photo ID, your spouse's information when they come. Your children do not need an ID. You need your social security number or ITIN letter for everybody who will be listed on the returns. I have to just go ahead and say everything that you normally would do, or if you don't remember, I would just do a check off of this list, print it off, and just go down the list. You just don't want to get to the site or get ready to get your tax prepared done, get your taxes prepared and leave this information out where it will cause a barrier for you to go through this pretty smoothly. So you want to bring with you your spouse. If you are married and filing jointly, you will both be required to sign the return. These things seem pretty insignificant. And, a lot of times people are like, oh, my husband's not going to come out, but it is a requirement that you both sign the joint return. All of your official 2019 income documents, some of those common documents are going to be your W-2s, your self-employment, all your 1099 miscellaneous, your interest income, unemployment, retirement income, Social Security benefits received. You do receive something from Social Security, and any other tax forms that you may have received. I always just take it, even if you feel like, I may not use it, it's better to have it than to not. You want to bring any of your documentation you have for deductions and credit. And say, for instance, you had childcare payments. When you get into the actual software, when we are doing the class, we are going to have to enter the provider address, the tax ID number, all of that information. If you pay rent, you want your landlord name, address, and phone number. If you went to school, went to college for any particular time, there's going to be that 1098T form for tuition. You want to bring that. It's going to have all of that information on it. Your receipt for textbook and supplies, your student loan, that's going to be that 1098E form. If you itemize your deductions, then you're going to bring your home mortgage interest paid, your form 1098, your real estate taxes that you paid, vehicle registration fee, documentation of unreimbursed medical expenses. There's a place for all of that. You guys can kind of go through that. Dale and Sylvia have a copy. If you want to take a picture of this, that's fine. Also bring documents that show your health insurance coverage during the last year. These may include your form 1095A, B, or C for affordable health, your list of insurance enrollment and coverage dates, anything that you would cover under. Bring your savings and checking account and routing number, so when you get your refund, you'll have that information, and you want to make sure that you have everything you need so that you get your refund in the right place. And in the economy and everything that's been going on with COVID and everything, just make sure you have all of that information. I think it's pretty important, right? We have the essential tax knowledge and links. Of course, I've given you myfreetaxes.org, and you want to hang on to that. You want to keep that in mind. Dialing 211 is going to help. On your links here, you're going to have a direct link to 211sandiego.org. If you are a stimulus receiver or you have to recover that rebate, if you have to, that information has to be put in your tax return this year. If you did get the 2 stimulus payments, you need to know how much those are. The first one was $1,200. The second one, $600. Some people received them, some people did not. There's a recovery rebate that is going to allow you to recover those funds if you did not. If you did receive them, it's going to require that you put that in. I put a link here for the stimulus recipients. If you don't remember, because I know there's a lot of people just probably getting a lot of different money. But if you don't remember, please feel free to view your tax account through the IRS with the irs.gov link. There's a recovery rebate link, which is all inside of the same, it's embedded inside of the same site. myfreetax.org, Dream for Change, which is us. There's a link off of our site, the Dreams for Change official site, that will just link you back into the same place as San Diego 211 with the myfreetax.org. And then for Social Security recipients, if you have questions about what's taxable and what's not taxable with Social Security, there's a link on your screen for that and on that document as well. Okay, so we have come to the end of the slides, and I am wanting to open the floor for questions that you may have regarding earned income tax credit and those items that are related to that. Anyone have it?
I have a quick question.
Mhm.
Regarding the stimulus
Mhm.
payment, is that counted? I just want to verify that. I read that the IRS does not count that as income.
There is, let me reiterate, let me ask the question again. Your
Sure.
question, am I speaking to, is it Anna?
Yes, this is Anna Lopez. Yes.
Hey,
Hi,
Anna,
Katina.
how are you?
Good, good.
Good. So basically, you're asking if the stimulus payment is a taxable.
If it's counted for the IRS as income, and will that affect us doing when we're doing our income tax?
As for, just 1 second for me.
Mhm.
No, the payment is not income and is not considered income, and taxpayers are not, and you do not owe taxes on it. Let me answer it that way. No.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Katina.
You don't owe taxes on it, but it does have to be put in if you received it or not. So
Yes.
they'll know. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Katina. I really appreciate your presentation. Quick announcement, everyone. I put my email address in the chat. If you would like the document that Katina was talking about earlier, I just send me an email and I can forward it to you. And then if you have any questions, I'm looking in the chat right now. I don't see any questions so far. If you don't have any questions, or if you forget and you need to ask questions later, shoot me an email and I will make sure that Katina can answer that question for you.
That is correct. I want to
Anyone else?
and just say I appreciate you guys for allowing us to be a part of your tax prep and your orientation experience for 2021. I want to really emphasize, please go. I know you guys are going to be, but if you have relatives, if you have family, it's been a hard economy for some people between 20, some even before COVID existed. I want to just have you guys to make sure that you are practicing social distancing, please. And
Yes.
and just if there's anything that we can answer questions, I've put my email up as well. You please feel free to send the question to Dale if you like, or Sylvia, or if you feel like you want to reach out directly, just send me a email and I'll be more than happy to assist you or point you in the right direction.
I have a quick question. Can we just call 211 and schedule an appointment, or do we have to like get it done through you personally, ma'am?
You are more than welcome to call 211. I do want to just caution that they are filling up.
Okay.
But we absolutely would not. Hey, if that works for you, we love it. We just want to be a part of what helps you. So we're here to go through the tax prep class upcoming with you, or if you feel more comfortable calling to see if you can get a schedule, that would be fine with us. I mean,
No, because I really love this organization. I got my taxes done through you like for the past like 3 years.
okay.
So that's
is
usually I just go to the college and I go get it done, but I didn't know that the housing commission does it too, or I call 211. Or is this like calling 211?
your question was, you said is what?
Is this like calling 211? Do I have to call 211?
No,
Instead?
if you're going to join the class for what we're doing here for the Housing Commission,
Oh,
if you want to join the class, we're going to actually walk you through that, and I'll facilitate that. But if you want to call 211, you can call 211 and they'll give you the option of having it done and scheduling appointment. And let me just, place emphasis. If you get an appointment, they are booking. I mean, the first, a week or so ago, the first 2 days were booked up already. So, so if you want to go through 211, feel, free to do that. I'm not sure how Dell and how the housing commission, has that, it from their standpoint. But for us here, Dream for Change, we encourage you, if you want to call 211, they can set you an appointment, or you can go out to the myfreetaxes.org and set and either do it yourself, like you feel confident enough to do it yourself. You can get it facilitated. Or you can just, have it done. And the volunteers are receiving tax returns by drop off. There's different ways that, different measures that are being done. You can drop off, you can go there, or, it'll be facilitated. So feel free to do whichever you feel most comfortable with.
Thank you, Katina. And just a quick announcement. We do have the class tentatively scheduled for this Thursday, the do-it-yourself taxes, with Katina hosting or facilitating it. But we may have to push it back because the website that they need to use may not be ready yet. So we will get that information to you as soon as we know for sure. And as soon as we can get it done, we will get it done for you guys. Any other questions? Well, I just want to remind you guys all about what's going on this week. Tomorrow we have tips for a positive interview workshop at 11. And then Wednesday at 11, I have an employer coming in to do an employer recruitment. It's Geo Secure Services. They're looking for food service, RNs, security. They're looking for everything. So if you're looking for work, hopefully I'll see you there Wednesday, the 27th. And then of course, if we are able to have the do-it-yourself taxes on Thursday, we will definitely keep you guys all posted, okay? Well, thank you guys so much. Most of the chat in here, Katina, I don't know if you can see it, most of the chat is just everyone saying thank you very much for the information. Thank you, great presentation. So they're satisfied, another satisfied customer. Thank you, Katina.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Great job, everybody. Thank you.
You have a prosperous year.
Okay,
You
thank
too.
you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.